Greetings and welcome, my friends. This is the Italian Job 9. Yes, 9. The 8th version took us to the dark side, but we've returned to our Bant colors. While lands are critical to success in every deck, here they are the primary weapon. Not only do they fuel our spells, but they attack and will generate tokens too. And some of our lands will hit the opponent right in the face when they enter. It's pain of all kinds, and it comes from lands. Let's get in there. We're playing the full set of Into the Flood Maw, a 1-mana bounce spell we can use at instant speed to return an enemy to the opponent's hand. We can use it to bounce any non-land permanent, and all we have to do is give the opponent a tapped sushi. And that is such a small price to pay that it is often well worth it to be able to delay a problematic permanent. Stormchaser's talent is a key component of the Italian Job series that we've brought it along. When we play it out, we get an otter token that we can use for early damages or as an early blocker while we build up our board. Later in the game, we can level it up to get an instant or sorcery from our grave. And at level 3, we start generating otter tokens with every instant and sorcery we fire off. It can end up being another win con if our main plan falls through. Auroral Procession is another fantastic card in this series. With it, we can get back any card in our grave for only 2 mana and at instant speed. This is a great way to get back cards we want to have on board that the opponent has destroyed. Doppelgang is our big duplication effect. With it, we can make copies of our permanents, or if the opponent has a better board, we can make copies of their stuff to use against them. It is a pricey card, but we do have ways of making the manas we need to be able to power this out. Stock Up is our search spell. It can help us dig up cards we need without restriction what we can grab. Get some lands if we're short of the mana we need, or grab another Stock Up if we have time and opportunity to keep digging. Ancient Cornucopia is a bit of ramp for our bigger spells as well as color fixing to help us play out cards that have a heavy color requirement, and will gain life with every card we play out. A very significant bonus in this meta that is ruled by men. Map the Frontier is our all-in ramp. It will fetch out a pair of lands, and with the mix of lands we have, there are only 6 lands we can't grab with this. In previous versions, this was a great way to get us up to the mana we need for our bigger spells, but here getting a pair of lands also could mean a pair of Treefolk tokens. Mapping the Frontier is more powerful here than in previous versions. Beyond the Quiet is still our sweeper of choice. It will eliminate all men on board regardless of their abilities. There is no saving them from the one-way trip we're giving them. While this eliminates our men, most of the time we'll have tokens which we can continue to generate while the opponent loses very real cards. If we lose any lands we animated by earthbending, those will return as lands and trigger any nurseries we have in play. So you see, we don't really lose anything to our own board wipe. Elspeth, Stormslayer is a great way to help us get double the tokens whenever we generate them. That's tokens we get from a talent, from a nursery, or our powerful Doppel. Elspeth can also make tokens for us that we can use to block, or if the way is clear, we can send them in for damages. Her pump ability is fantastic as that will give our team a boost, as well as the critical flying ability to help our men get past defenders. Elspeth doesn't have an ultimate, but her -3 ability is excellent removal for enemy men that are 3 mana or more. Doubling Season is another token doubler, this time in the form of an enchantment. It is expensive at 5 mana, but the effects it gives us are well worth it. It also doubles the counters we would put on a permanent we control. When we earthbend a land, it'll get double the counters, and Elspeth's pump ability will also be enhanced. Vivien Reid is a planeswalker that goes very well with the nursery, and one we were playing in an earlier version. Her +1 ability can help us find lands to fuel any nurseries we have in play. Her -3 ability lets us destroy an artifact, enchantment, or even a creature with flying. Her ultimate is one we will want to activate as that will give our men a stat boost as well as vigilance, trample, and indestructible. With any men on board, the ultimate is a big GG's, extra cheese. The Green Virtue is a powerful tool in this series. For just 1 green mana, we can return a land from our grave back to our hand. It's a great way to get back a Fabled Passage for another go at fetching out a land. Then, as an enchantment, the virtue will triple the amount of mana we get from our basic lands. The effect continues to multiply, so with 2 virtues in play, we'd get 9 mana from a single land. This enables doppels of epic proportions that can often give us an overwhelming advantage on board. Sapling Nursery is a new card from the Lorwyn set. We've already seen action with it in the deck Deliverance, and we knew even before Lorwyn was released that it could be a role player in the Italian Job series. It's a pricey card, but it does have affinity for forests to help reduce its cost. And once in play, we generate a Treefolk token with every land that enters play. That includes token lands we generate with a big doppel. Even if the opponent has removals or sweepers, the nursery does have an activated ability that we can use to give our forests and treefolk indestructible for the turn. Note that we can doppel the nursery and some lands for enormous board presence and a likely concession. GG's, bro, thanks for coming on the big show. For lands, we're playing 4 Fabled Passage, the special land we can sacrifice to fetch out any basic. 2 Lush Oasis, the Simic Desert. We did take the deserts down to only 2 copies each to make room for a key component that plays very well with the nursery, Ba Sing Se. 2 Creosote Heath, the Selesnya Desert. 2 Lonely Arroyo, the Azorius Desert. 4 Forest. 2 Ba Sing Se, the special land that lets us earthbend our lands. 4 Island. And 4 Plains. Playing the deck requires patience as we are usually behind early. It's the mid to late game where the deck will begin to flex. Early, we want to get any talents in play as well as ramp with a Horn of Plenty or fire off a stock up to help find fuel for our later turns. A sweeper is often critical early to help keep enemy men from taking down our life total. Elspeth is a great play on turn 4 if we have ramp or on turn 5 as her tokens can help out defensively while we wait to find and play out a nursery. Green and white mana are needed in multiples to be able to play out cards. We only need just 1 blue mana. That's a good thing to keep in mind when fetching out lands. A doubling season followed by our Planeswalkers gives them boosted loyalty to help activate their big minus abilities. The aim is to get a nursery in play. In multiples and with any ability to double the tokens we generate will often end the game. That's the deck, boys. Let's go play some games.
Do you want to play a game?
This is the true Donnie G, because we wouldn't want to tangle with the fake one. We're kicking things off with a shuffler special. We have a lot of ramp and a stock up. Of note is the Procession, which can get us to 3 lands, and from there we can play everything else out. Keep your pants on. We draw a 3rd land right away, and with a forest we'll have at least 1 of each of our colors. They fire off and abandon attachments, and with them tapped out, it's our chance to get our passage back from the grave. With it, we'll be able to fully develop our mana. They likely have a counter, and out of the 2 3-mana cards we have, I'd rather be sure we get the stock up off successfully. It would be nice to have the ramp, but additional digging is best. And they do have the counter. This time we'll go with a Map the Frontier. If they counter it, that's fine. And if not, we continue to build our mana, and their tax counter might not even matter later. We do get it, and we'll grab a pair of deserts. These are pain now, and could be pain later. Let's stock up. Even if they have a counter now, we can pay the extra mana. That's a doubling season easy, and we'll take the Horn of Plenty. They counter our Cornucopia. They don't like us having extra. We're already at 7 and well ahead of their 5 mana board. They play out a monument. All that's left is a way to discard cards reliably. We draw a talent and we'll play it out right after the doubling season. The season goes down smooth as butter. And now for the talent. Not a hitch there either. They use a demonstration to take out our otter tokens, but we can always make more. We draw a Horn of Plenty, and with them running on empty, we should be able to get it down. Then we can level up a talent to get back a stock up. That's a Ba Sing Se for sure, and getting another procession for more stocking up will work for me. Thanks to the doubling season, when we earthbend this here land, it'll become a 4/4. Always earthbend deserts, since when they return as lands, they hit for another point. And they do hit it with removal. They didn't bring enough of those. They also didn't bring a way to gain life. This land wants to murder you, bro. Better dump cards to make sure you don't take hits. They finally are able to toss a card and trigger the monument. Only 6 more cards left to toss, and we're toast. They follow up with one of their talents. We'll go for the procession at the end of their turn. We can use it to get back the stock up for another round of digging. They have a snare to foil our plans, but with them tapped out, I have to wonder what they have for our land. We draw a nursery and their problems have just gotten worse. They used up their counters on cards that didn't really matter much, and our weapons are coming online. You gotta remember, the auto-tapper won't tap artifact mana, so you have to manually tap. Then we can earthbend and get in there. We go back down to 18 with that card tossing. It's almost like we've seen this before. They play out a lantern. I mean, it's a card. And finally, there's a Gran. Real men don't bring their grandmas to do battle. Right on time, we draw our bounce, and we can send their granny packing in favor of whipping up some damages with our lands. They activate their land. They're so behind, they know they've got to do whatever they can to take our life total down. They're running on borrowed time, and the deadline to pay up is coming soon. Next up, we'll earthbend a second land and smash in, right to the face. Damages, bro. Damages. In a twist of fate, we'll go with our virtue. If we try to get the passage in our grave, it might get them to use the lantern to exile our grave, overdrawing a card with it. I can't believe that worked. I mean, sure we lose our virtue, but at this point we don't need it. There is no way they can survive our next turn. Card draw is king, and they want their crown, but at the same time, they've got no way to trigger the monument as many times as they need to be able to steal this game. Their next key play is a demonstration to take out one of our lands, but it gets to come back and hits them for another point when it does. Also, we get a pair of Treefolk tokens. What does it smell like? It smells like GG's. All kinds of land cheese. They get the smell out of town. This is Iron Hug. He holds on tight, very tight. No, wait. It's Iron Hog. We get a 4-lander this time around with double passage, a Virtue, a Cornucopia, and a Frontier. The ramp will be strong with us. It's not the best hand, but we'll give it a shot. Keep your pants on. They're thinking this one through. They likely think we're on control given the lands we've played out. Nothing wrong with messing with their heads. And there it is, ladies and sharkmen. Demon Black is alive and well in the current standard. We'll play out our Horn of Plenty. We do like our extra manas. Wait, they won't be able to unlock the Ritual Chamber for a couple more turns. We can afford to tap out. Let's get our passage back with our Virtue. One thing is certain, this guy is hogging all the time. Judge. They finally play out a Demon Wall. Their gain and drain plan is going to be in full swing. We draw an Elspeth, which is rather solid. But for this turn, I think we have to go with Viv and shoot their Annex down. Luckily, their Demon Wall can't swing in, so we're completely fine not having a blocker.
Concrete jungle. Sounds like my kind of place. You can't bury the creatures of this world in steel and stone.
They play out a stoppable slasher. It will try to do us harm, but we're about to get a way to generate some token blockers. They double down on Demon Wall, because one guy that can't attack is not good enough. We need to have 2 of those in play. We draw our Sweeper, and while Elspeth was originally going to go in this turn, we've got crowd control in hand now. I'd say we'll smell them later, but where they're going, there is no coming back.
You have your family. I have mine.
They play out another stoppable slasher. These guys are living up to their name. Now we'll go with Elspeth. Her token-making ability will give us a pair of blockers that
Nature
only will get
speaks.
better as the game goes on.
Listen. So long as ready arms.
They double down on the stoppable one, which is fine. We just have to pull out a second stop sign. We'll bounce their untapped slasher at the end of their turn. This opens up an avenue where we can get in for damages. We draw a stock up, and we can use it to search out some of our weapons. But first, let's earthbend a land. You know how we roll. Then we'll have Viv find us more land.
Those that survive are stronger for it.
Up next, some more token men, then we can get in for hits. Ordinarily, being hit would make a player go defensive, but I get the feeling this guy thinks the slashers are all that and a bag of rice. Let's see what we got on top. That's going to be a talent and a procession. Each of those equal another round of stocking up. They hit us with a rush of dread, but it's really not that bad. We'll let go of our land and our tapped token. The card tossing is a bit trickier, but I think we can toss the lands in the ramp. They send the slasher, but we're stopping him at the gate. Nobody gets in without pants.
Life is tenacious, isn't it? More heroes for the cause.
We'll play out the talent. It's another pair of tokens and a great way to get back our stock up. We'll cap our turn with the Virtue. Our basics will tap for 3 mana now. They play out a Bloodletter, but he's not going to get through either. Then they play out the slasher we bounced. Welcome back, bro. Happy to stop you again. Might want to hold on and block up, bro. Oh no, they're sending it. We'll take this opportunity to bounce their untapped slasher. We draw another bounce. We'll save it for a bit later. For now, Elspeth can shoot down their Bloodletter. Viv can do so as well, but we want to get her up to ultimate loyalty. With 4 lands to choose from, we'll take the forest. It'll reduce the costs of our nurseries. We probably could have done all this before sending it for extra damages. Out of these, we're definitely getting the nursery, and another stock up is great too. We could fire off the stock up, but let's save it for our next turn. Tired and predictable. They're just going through the motions. Their slasher returns. He looks like he'd rather be on vacation somewhere tropical. They hit one of our blockers with a removal. It's very possible they have a second removal for the other blocker. Let's grab a hold of our knickers and sweat it out. No removal, they just send it. And then they fire off their hit on our last blocker. That's cool, bro, but if we bounce the slasher, it won't be attacking anymore. You must have pants to enter. We draw another talent, and now we otter up. We'll follow up with our stock up. Let's get some more cards. And on top, we have another nursery. We'll take it and a land. They are the perfect weapon. Our Otter Team 6 is getting a bit plump. We can easily level up our new talent and grab a bounce for their stoppable slasher. We bounce it and we can send the otters. With the bounce, they'll be at lethality. Bro, probably can't believe what's happening. That's GG's, extra token cheese. And that, my friends, is another satisfied customer.